Hey, welcome to the show. Every Sunday afternoon, we answer your home improvement questions. My name is Jared Mellick. Sitting next to me is my father, Ken.
Hey, everyone.
Surprise, surprise.
This show is all about your questions, so we're looking forward to your calls.
Where are you? You're in the house. This is In the House, all about home improvement and construction. If you have a project that you're working on and you want to know how to get to the next step, or if there's something in the house that you need to fix, you want to know how to get started with it, this is the place to be. Whether it's a structural question, electrical, plumbing, anything having to do with home improvement, you can give us a call. Number's 407-297-9696 or toll-free 855-297-9696. My name is Jared Mellick. Normally sitting next to me is my father, Ken. He is out riding his motorcycle today. And so our good friend and producer extraordinaire Josh Smith is filling in for him. Welcome, Josh.
I'm glad to be here. We should rename the show In the House with insert name here and Josh.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I was out constant for like the last 3 weeks.
It's true. I was out last week. I had a good excuse though, which is that my wife had just had a baby, and our newest son Grayson was brought into this world, and so I took the weekend off for that.
Oh, just the weekend?
Well. Yeah, I mean, I took this week off of work for that, but yeah, we were in the hospital last week. I did a little cameo call-in appearance, but for those of you who wanted to know, little Grayson is doing well, as is my wife Kara, and he is healthy and beautiful, and I think we're going to post some pictures on our Facebook account. So if you're friends with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Universal Roof, or facebook.com/In the House Show, either one of those, then we'll get some pictures of the little guy up there.
Do you have any video, any how-tos on crib assembly? Or did you do anything cool like that for us?
You know, we actually should put our the nursery on, because
I saw it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, well, yeah, and actually yours, you had a little guy just a week before us.
I did. It was a race.
Yeah, and you guys won.
But he was a little smaller, 5 pounds, 15 ounces. But his name's Cole, and he's a champion.
Yeah. He's a cute little guy, and so they're just exactly a week apart, almost to the hour, actually.
It helps with birthdays, so we're just going to do a dual birthday every year.
Yeah, exactly. And so we should actually put on the website some of the things that we did in both of our nurseries. I would like to take credit for my nursery. Unfortunately, I can't. My wife is the one that planned everything, but I did put some shelves up.
Yeah.
And we did some crown molding and things like that. So maybe we'll put some pictures of the different nurseries up so people can see.
Absolutely. This website or app, Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
My wife got a ton of ideas from that. So I was. It was a great excuse to go to Bass Pro Shops, because we got a lot of little airplanes hanging in his nursery. And she's like, "Well, I want it where you can't really see the line suspending in it." I was like, "Well, baby, I think I got to go to Bass Pro. I'm going to need some better fishing line. The stuff I've got just won't cut it." So, I come back with $4 worth of fishing line and $400 worth of camo for the little guy.
Well, every little guy needs camos. All right, so we're going to move on from little boy talk to man business. Or home improvement business. If you have a project that you're working on and you want to know how to get to the next step, or if there's something in your house that you need to fix, you want to know how to get started with it, you can give us a call with those types of questions, whether it's electrical, plumbing, air conditioning. Maybe you have a leak and you want to know how to find it. Maybe you're thinking about doing a remodel. You want to know what type of remodel pays off. You can give us a call here, 407-297-9696, or toll-free 855-297-9696. So a couple weeks ago, we were at the Orange County Convention Center for the Orlando Home Show. We built a big smart home there, big 40 by 50 foot booth where we had all kinds of smart home technology that we featured. In fact, last week we had the guys from HTG come in and talk about some of the stuff that they had done. Special thanks to them for filling in last week while I was out. I caught the tail end of it. It sounded like there was some great stuff.
Absolutely. If you were at the convention center and you saw the smart home, you saw exactly what they did, and basically the home theater system that they had is just phenomenal. And you're getting away from the days where, when you say home theater, it was an actual room where it was a theater. These guys are doing things now where, it's so concealed and so flush and aesthetically pleasing that there's no big large speakers in the corner, nothing wall-mounted. I mean, they have paintings that are actual. It's a painting, but it's a picture frames picture.
Yeah.
And the screen technology that they had. It's like projectors back in the day. You couldn't have a projector in a room that had a lot of sunlight because of the glare and the contrast issues. They brought out a screen that was just unbelievable. You could probably put it on your back porch and watch football, and it would look like a full-size LED, 80-inch screen. Just unbelievably phenomenal. So those guys did a fantastic job. We're going to keep them in the mind for the next home show, I believe.
Yeah, for sure, and they're doing some stuff at my house as well, and what you talked about where there used to be you had a home theater room, and so it was a separate room that everybody would go to, theater seats, things like that, and that started to get big, I guess, probably about 10, 15 years ago. Now they're doing more hybrid rooms where you're just taking your existing family room and doing different technology to actually screen that comes down from the ceiling and things like that, so that way you're doing a home media room just as part of your existing family room. That's what I'm doing in my house. And then the thing is that when you do smart home technology, you can actually just add some things to your house without making huge changes. One of the things that we featured at the smart home, which I thought was pretty cool, was the lighting control system. Basically, all you have to do is remove one of your existing light switches, replace it with one that has an RF signal, a radio frequency, and you can actually turn on and off your lights from anywhere in your house and even from outside your home. There's control systems that you can just log into your existing house from anywhere. Let's say you left for the day and you couldn't remember whether or not you turned off the light in your bathroom. You can actually, from home, from any smart home, from any smart phone, or from any computer, make sure that is turned off.
That's the problem that we have when my wife and I, when we leave for the day. If we're not going to get back until, or if we're going somewhere together and she's coming back alone, we'll leave the porch lights on. Say we're going to be gone 6 hours, those lights will stay on all day long. So you're burning electricity for 6 to 8 hours when you didn't need to, because you could have had it set up with your phone where, hey, she's pulling around the corner, bing, bing, bang, boom on the phone, and the lights come right on. Whereas, the situation now, my lights are burning all day long just because I know I want them on when she gets home. So the technology's there, and it's almost like a return on investment. If you use it the right way, it'll pay for itself.
All right, let's go to the phones. And by the way, if you have a home improvement question for us, 407-297-9696 or toll free 855-297-9696. Let's go to Jerry in Leesburg. Jerry, you're in the house. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just put up an HD antenna on a pole up to the side of my house from the ground, and I want to know, well, two things. This question and one other one. Is it grounded in the ground like that?
So is it on an actual, how far into the ground does the pole go?
Oh, actually, it's just sitting on the ground.
Then no, it's not. That's not considered grounded. Is it connecting? Is it touching the house at any point?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So no, that wouldn't be considered grounded. They say that I've heard conflicting things, but let me start a little bit different than that. We have a lightning protection system, a company that comes on every once in a while, and they do lightning protection systems where they place the metal stakes basically, or spikes around the house, and then there's the wire that connects all of them, and then they take it down and it actually goes down into the ground, and most of the time they're saying that it has to go down like 6 to 8 feet in order for it to be grounded, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to collect that lightning and actually get it. Disperse it so that it doesn't come down into the house and so that it actually goes down into the ground. Well, you have to make sure that that it follows that line all the way down and that it's not connecting to any other metal or anything else along the way, and so that it disperses it away from the house. So that is so I think just it setting on the ground wouldn't necessarily be considered grounded.
Okay. And one other question?
Sure.
I heard somewhere that all the cords plugged into the wall in my house, even though they're not on, like a lamp that's not on that's plugged in or anything, is actually drawing a small amount of current. Is that true? Affecting my light or my electric bill?
Yeah, small amounts, yes. It is drawing small amounts of electricity, yes. So even if you, like, for example, let's say that you go to your go to your meter, and let's say that you have all the lights on the whole house turned off, and you have your air conditioner off, all of that, you're still drawing in electricity. And so the same thing with anything that is plugged in. It's going to draw at least a small amount of electricity. Not a huge amount.
Not enough to affect my bill that much, though?
No, not enough where it's, it's small amounts. You're going to be wasting way more electricity with other things other than that. I mean, usually it's the HVAC system is going to take a huge amount of that energy consumption. The water heater is going to take a huge amount of that consumption. So those are the things that you typically want to deal with first. It's not the little light plugged in or things like that. That's not where your big money is lost.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, bud. Thanks. We appreciate your call. All types of home improvement questions we can answer here, 407-297-9696, or toll free 855-297-9696. If you have a structural question, electrical, plumbing, maybe you're thinking about remodeling your bathroom and you want to know what it is that you should do, you can give us a call, 407-297-9696. All right, let's go to an email question. This comes from John in Apopka. And he writes, first of all, I love the show. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yep, you're the one. A few weeks ago, I heard you talking about siding. I missed part of it. What is your favorite type of siding? Well, we did talk about that a couple weeks ago about different types of siding, and so let me run through some of them really quick, and then kind of talk about them. In general, we have wood siding, and there's different types and exposures with those. There is vinyl siding or aluminum siding, which is a non-structural cover that goes over the top. And then there's cement board siding like hardy siding. And so my personal preference would be the hardy material. I think that hardy siding is a phenomenal option. That's what I would put on my personal house. Actually, that is what I put on my personal house is hardy siding. I had an old metal chimney and removed the metal chimney and built an actual box, and then put hardy siding on it. And so I think hardy siding is one of the best materials. James Hardie Corporation just does a phenomenal job in testing, in the manufacturing process. They're the best cement board siding. And then there's some other composite materials as well, a bunch of different siding materials that are made of different things. There's a PVC version. There's other composites. I typically try to stay away from most of the composites other than the hardy material. I think hardy is probably the best ones of the cement board sidings. The thing about here in Florida is that if you have regular wood exposed to the elements, it's going to dry, it's going to crack, it's going to deteriorate, and I've just found that the hardy material just lasts a lot longer. The other thing is that Hardie now has a material called Color Plus. So with most of their siding materials now, they actually will bake on a coating or a paint material, a color material, to the outside of the siding in the manufacturing plant, where they can control the environments, they can control the temperature, they can control the humidity level, and they can control the coverage area of it. So and they give a 15-year manufacturer's warranty to the siding. So I would personally use cement board siding. And then other siding surfaces that you have on the exterior of a house is stucco. We don't call stucco siding. It is stucco siding is actually, really what it is, but it is an exterior surface. Stucco is a good option as well. If you are going over the top of the wood, though, I want to make sure that you put it on thick enough and that you make sure that you allow it to cure before you actually paint it. Those are the two biggest mistakes that I find with stucco. But stucco is another option that's pretty prevalent down here, more so than the actual siding is. So thanks, John, for that email question. And by the way, if you want to email us a question, you can go to our website, inthehouseshow.com. There's a little link there to email us a question. We'll read it live on the air, and then we'll send you an MP3 of the answer. That way you can, just in case you miss part of the show. So, again, John, thanks for that email question. Let's go back to the phones at 407-297-9696, toll-free 855-297-9696. Let's go to Jack in Pine Hills. Jack, you're in the house.
I got a question about some molds I had in my bedroom. Can I just go ahead and use a pine cleaner and go over the walls instead of go ahead and getting kilt and all that stuff and then just repainting it white? That's all I want to do is really repaint it white.
Sure. Now, a couple of things with mold is that there's points where we get really concerned with mold, and then there's points where, it's really not that big of a deal. But the most important thing in mold remediation or with mold in general is finding the source of the moisture. Understand that mold grows because of moisture, and then it has to have moisture, and then it has to have some sort of food to feed on. And there's certain types of mold that are harmful. You don't want them to get in your lungs and things like that. So the first thing, Jack, is to find the source of the moisture.
I know what it was.
What was it?
Tenant didn't fix the lever at the bottom of the toilet. It leaked and ran all over the floor, the carpet floor, and left it there.
Okay.
I guess he knew, but he just didn't want to do anything with it. Left it there for like 3 or 4 days. He went out of town, come back, and, of course, the carpet absorbed it, and so did the walls.
Right.
So it's just water from the toilet.
Okay. Now, did you get rid of the carpet, or did you just dry it out?
Dried it out good.
Okay.
I cleaned it and dried it out.
How long did the water get on it?
Like 1 or 2 days.
Okay. If you get, mold can grow within 48 hours, and so you may want to replace that carpet. If after you clean it, it still has a musty smell, then I'm probably going to recommend that you replace it, because the water and mold gets down into the pad, and you just don't want it to continue to spread. So I may recommend that you get rid of that carpet. And then a lot of times what will happen is the drywall will actually wick the water up from the bottom, and then it wicks higher up onto the drywall, and the mold will grow on the drywall. Now, if it's just surface mold, just on the surface, then you can just clean it. Use.
It's not deep into the wall or anything like that.
So you can just use bleach. You want to. There's also fungicides and mildicides that you can buy at the home improvement store to actually kill it. But if it gets into the drywall itself, then usually there's nothing that you can do except remove that drywall. So a lot of times, most of the time when we have a toilet leak like that, what we're going to recommend that you do is actually get rid of the carpet. If you didn't dry it out fast, like if you didn't have a professional company come in and really dry it out fast, then most of the time you're going to have to get rid of the carpet, and then you're going to have to cut up, 6 to 12 to 18 inches around the bottom of the room where the drywall got wet, and cut that out.
Jack, is this rental property?
Yeah.
I save yourself the trouble of this ever happening again. Get the carpeting out of the bathroom totally and put something in there, linoleum or some kind of
absolutely,
get something else in there, because I grew up in Michigan. We had, for whatever reason, we had carpeting in the bathroom, and the best day of my parents' life was getting the carpeting out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
That pad, it's a sponge. It's going to soak up, and it's going to be musty. The best thing that you could do right now is take the time and just get that out of there.
Okay.
All right, bud.
But as far as the walls, I can just go ahead and use this cleaner that I have.
Yeah.
Like
what did
Pine Sol cleaner.
Pine Sol? Yeah, Pine Sol is.
Like that,
yeah. That's not going to kill.
It's also a disinfectant too.
Yeah, that's not going to kill the mold. So you have to have a mildicide. It has to be something that's actually going to physically kill the mold. It's a plant. It's a living organism.
So like bleach.
Yeah, like bleach or fungicides or mildicides.
Okay. All right.
All right, bud.
So thanks.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. 407-297-9696. Toll free. 855-297-9696. Let's go to Joseph in the Villages. Joseph, you're in the house. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, hi, gentlemen. I just have a quick question. I own a 1,500-square-foot home here in Central Florida. Is there a solar system that can actually run my air conditioning system or even run all my appliances in the house?
Well, I mean, they have whole house PV panels. Like for example, you can do photovoltaic or PV, where you are up to 95, 98% energy independent from the power company, and in certain times of certain times of the day or the year, the meter will actually run backwards, and you'll be selling the power back to the power company. So they do have PV panels that can do a high percentage of your power consumption. A few years ago, there was lots of rebates from and tax credits and things from the federal government as well as the state government. Some of the federal ones are still in place for solar. The state ones, they ran out of money, so there's not too much state ones left. But there are some PV panels that can run a high percentage of your energy.
And how could I find those companies that do that?
If you, I can give you a recommendation off air. So if you email me, Jared, Jared, at Universal Roof, UNIVERSALROOF, Jared at universalroof.com.
Very good. I'll send you an email.
All right. Thanks, bud. Bye.
Thanks so much.
407-297-9696. Toll free, 855-297-9696. Let's go to Tom in Deltona. Tom, you're in the house. Go ahead.
Hi. As I explained to your interviewer, I tore out a shower pan because of a leak in the wall, and it affected drywall and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire shower stall has been torn out to the bare walls and rafters and beams.
Mm-hmm.
I tore up the shower pan because there was water under it.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is this. Once I got down to the cement slab, there's a flange that connects to the PVC pipe under the slab.
Okay.
It's a black steel flange. The brass adapter for the drain that bolts to that, the bolts broke off that hold that down. So obviously the black steel flange has to be replaced, and that actually slid up out of the floor.
Okay.
My question is, are the black steel flanges still available, or is there a better product to replace it with? And once I slide a new flange in there, what do I use between the PVC pipe and the flange for a sealant?
Tom, sounds like you have a cast iron drain there, and there's two sections to the cast iron drain. There's kind of a top section that screws down into the bottom. A lot of times you actually have to chisel down so that you can actually get to that whole base bottom unit. And then they do have a PVC drain assembly that is expandable that kind of goes down into that lower section. So chances are that's going to be your best bet on that. If that doesn't work, email me, and I can actually, I have a website I can send you that has some good information on it. It has steps and section by section that you can use. Jared at universalroof.com. Thanks for that question.